Morning, girls. How we doing? We are back here again with Amberlynn Reed, and this is Can't Believe I'm Sharing This. ... When I first saw this, I was like, oh god, we're just going to be slowly drip feeding out information about the potentially fake girlfriend who potentially doesn't even exist. And then I realized when I did my audio check here that it's actually a Q&A, which I'm just like, oh, it feels like 2023 again. We're back to this. We're back to, I have no content. Guys, yeah, I realize I keep trying to dunk on you and say I have so much going on in my life right now. But yeah, I've literally got nothing going on. So can you guys make my content for me? Also, obviously, coincidental, she suddenly does a Q&A right after she breaks up with Valentine, the totes for real person with a totes for real name, guys, who totes for real exists. I guess we're just going to get straight into it. 1.25 speed. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to a new video. So today I figured we would do an Instagram Q&A. So all my questions that I got today are from Instagram. I just posted on Instagram and said, hey guys, I'm filming a new YouTube video, so send me your questions.
You might as well. Do you think she has a template for this? Do you think she has it just in a file somewhere where she just goes like, oh, I'm going to do that again. Oh, I'll just go quickly grab that. I'm just going to put that up again. It's probably the exact same wording every single time.
Nothing is off limits. Normally when I do that, I'll scroll through like...
That's like the same as normal. It doesn't matter that it's not off limits because you're more than likely just going to cherry pick to get cherries. She's going to cherry pick what she wants to answer anyway, so why care?
I get hundreds of questions.
No, you don't.
Stop it! I'll just decide based on like what I feel like answering.
Yep,
if there's any questions that I notice are like super repetitive and a lot of people are asking. But this time I went into it with a new rule. I said that I am going to answer the first 30 questions regardless of what they are. Obviously.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because, like, we don't know what the first 30 questions are because when you answer on, like, Instagram, doesn't it come back as just, like a message in your inbox, doesn't it? Especially if they're answering or, like, commenting on a story, doesn't it? Like, I don't use Instagram, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that's how it is if you, like, comment on a story, doesn't it get sent to that person as basically like a DM? Like no one else can see it. Unless you made like a public post. I don't know. I'm not going to check. I don't have an Instagram account. And anytime I've ever tried to go on Instagram, it's always like, make an account if you want to look at this person's profile. It's like, no. Just, no. I have no interest in doing that. So I don't know. Maybe it was like an actual thing and people can see like in the timeline actual like comments being added to it. But if it's just a DM, then it doesn't get around the issues everyone has, where it's like, oh, well, this is fake, this isn't actually a question someone asked, you're lying about this, you're making this up, because it's how often do we get this, where she's like, guys, I'll answer anything, like, I'm an open book to the public, and it's like, what's your favorite color? And I was like, yep, I definitely believe someone asked you that, Amber.
If there's any repeats, then I'm going to skip that and move on to the next question. But I wrote down...
You don't even do that. A lot of times she gets like questions that are basically the same and she answers them anyway.
The first 30. It's a lot, so we definitely should just
30 is a big number, thanks.
I'm going to be answering them in the order that I received them.
Sure.
So the
How
first
would we know
one
this?
is, did you ever cheat on an ex? And the answer is yes.
Obviously.
The last time I cheated on someone, I was 17 years old. And I'm 33 now. So it's been...
That jump cut to like, I'm 33 now! Like, yeah, I did it when I was 17, but I'm 33 now, just so you know. It's like, okay, bro. Very defensive of you, especially if this is the first question that came through, and the one you want most people to watch, because obviously, like, as the video goes on, view count kind of drops off. So that's the one you want to know. Because obviously she's been hinting that this entirely fictitious person called Valentine has been, like, cheating on her and all, apparently behind the scenes. So the first thing she wants to make clear to you as the viewer is, mate, yes, I cheated once because I'm a sex kitten, guys. But it was 17 years ago. It was like, oh, okay, bro, 100%, cool. Like, I thought she cheated on Casey, but I can't remember because, like, I don't care about like the exes as much as a lot of people do. So I'm not really sure if the Casey thing was like an open polycule relationship or something like that. But like, if we're just talking like emotional cheating, 100% I think Amber emotional cheats because she's like the type of person who like probably firstly doesn't have the facility to really actually cheat on people because. Can I be any more direct than just saying, look at her, like look at her, and look at every girlfriend she's had in the past, when most of them were like 2 out of 10s. They're not really the finest looking cats out of the cradle, like, but like, I don't know. She's like probably an emotional cheater. She probably realizes that, you know, like, well, this person, oh, they seem to be growing a wee bit distant from me. Oh, well, I'm not actually enjoying being with them. I'm not being able to show them off correctly on YouTube. So I'm going to like, kind of talk to someone in the background, kind of keep my options open, you know, oh, this pretty girl, pretty in massive quotation marks, message me on Instagram, I'm going to keep chatting with them in the background and pretend to be super nice and super friendly with them. Oh my god, guys, oh, this is my bestie. to try and like keep them open in case she has to suddenly like move house and has to move in for the new caretaker. Kind of like what she did even with Beck when she was like going with Beck. A lot of times that she was just like obviously still obsessed with Destiny. Like, isn't that kind of emotional cheating if you're not over your ex-girlfriend, but you have a girlfriend, but you like constantly want your ex-girlfriend about? Isn't that kind of emotional cheating in itself?
In a hot minute. That's why I don't firmly believe in the whole like once a cheater always a cheater. I do think that there are a lot of cheaters who do not change.
Yeah.
There's also
like
a large quantity of us like me.
You could have just said a large and I would have realized you're talking about yourself. That's a terrible joke, like, but I'm sticking with it.
Who do change. And I'm gonna blame it on like I was young and stupid. Yes.
You don't have the capabilities to cheat on what are you gonna do? Ask your current girlfriend to drive you around to the girl's house so you can cheat on her? Like, what are you going to do? You're literally incapable of existing by yourself. Yeah, you're not going to cheat on someone. You're 550, 600 pounds. You're incredibly unattractive. I don't want to say you're over the hill because you're 33, because obviously that's not the case. But especially when she tries to go for like young teeny bopper types, and she tries to pretend to be a young teeny bopper, her clear target audience. Yeah, you can't get them. You can't draw them in. You can't like over romanticize them so like they want to be interested in you. You just don't have that capability. That's why you don't cheat.
When you're 17, you know the difference between right and wrong. But like, I was also in a long distance relationship at that age.
Do you currently know the difference between right and wrong? The distance is if she can fucking drive it.
Age. So I was just a mess, but I have not cheated since then, and I don't plan on it. Thoughts on people saying that you're quitting semaglutide?
Don't you have to be in a relationship to cheat? I don't plan on cheating either way. It's like, you aren't in a relationship, so how could you?
Rather than it just not working for you. So semaglutide obviously does not work for everybody, and it did work for me when I was on the lowest dose. The first 4 weeks was...
Yeah. So why even bring up... Firstly, it doesn't work for everyone. It's like, but it worked for you. You just said that, so why even bring that up? Because it clearly works for you.
Literally magic. Then once week 5 happened, I really don't know what happened, but it just like stopped working.
Well, that's just not true. It's blatantly... I'm sorry. Saying, it's literally magic, guys. Like, when you had weeks where you lost, like, 2 pounds, like 3 pounds, that is what we call a hefty dump. This is not a magic cure if for some reason you can only lose 2 pounds. For her, she could go on her, like, any slightly restrictive diet of, like, 2,500 calories, which, yes, for most people is just, like, the normal intake. And she would lose more than 2 pounds per month, per week.
And then I was just hoping that, like, once I increased the dose, that it would start working again. And it hasn't. So a lot of times, if semaglutide doesn't work for someone, you just move on to the next one. There's also compound.
Wow. So right after this weird fake storyline about how you were going to be the paid sponsor and face of whatever specific brand this was, suddenly it doesn't work and suddenly you have to try a new one. Do you think this is her? Like, obviously, like, the whole brand thing was just fake in general because she's not that big a deal anymore. It's like, she really thinks she is, but she just isn't. Do you think that was her trying to, like, fish? To suddenly be like, guys, the current one I'm on is not working. Oh, if only someone would swing in here and sponsor me with a brand new one that'll definitely work, guys.
Founded Monjaro. So, obviously, that's another option
even name dropping.
Would you ever talk to a guy? No, I am a lesbian.
They said, would you ever talk to a guy? Not, would you ever sleep with the guy? What? Aren't they like referencing like the fact that every time she talks about like someone online like messaging her, it's always a woman, like always a woman, and that's clear because she just wants us to think. It's like, whoa, she's swimming in girls. Oh, there's so many women who want to be with her. Oh, these hot girls must be DMing her all day. But it's like, I think they're just probably asking about that. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe most people when they hear that would think, oh, it must be romantically. But it's like. They said, would you ever talk to a guy? I don't know if talking to is for me immediately like, oh, I once held her hand and now she's pregnant, you know?
I've spoken to Valentine since you broke up. After we broke up, we wanted to try being friends, but that did not work out.
Why would you want to be friends? She apparently like cheated on you and you dumped her because you realized you were worth more than her and all this kind of stuff. But suddenly you're just like, oh, but we'll still be besties. It's like, why would that make any sense today if they're cheating on you before they've even met you? Apparently, a month before they're meant to move in with you, why suddenly would they like be like, oh, but we'll still be friends? Like, oh yeah, it's for real.
Not at all. The last time that I talked to her was maybe 2 weeks ago. But the last time she contacted me.
I knew she was going to do that. And the second she said, like, the last time I contacted her, I was like, okay. Like, you're already trying to, like, set it up. It's like, see, I'm such a baller. I've already moved on from her. I've totally left that girl in the dust. But her, she's, like, basically a stalker, and she keeps messaging me. I knew it because everyone obviously like ripped her apart because of like her whole Feline thing, where she was like talking about how she was like constantly texting Feline, even when Feline wasn't like answering and didn't like seem interested in responding to her or talking to her, and she kept bothering Feline, including loads and loads of passive aggressive like TikToks aimed at Feline. So suddenly it's like, okay. That's what it's all about. Now you want to have a breakup where you're the one being stalked and not you stalking the other side.
She sent me a screenshot of a TikTok I posted, and she was pretty upset about it.
I love immediately, look at the wee smirk she's trying to hide there. I love that immediately it turned out to be about TikTok when I just mentioned the TikTok.
So even if she hurt me, like obviously it does bother me that my TikTok hurt her, but I do feel like
No, it doesn't, because then you wouldn't have done it. Like, why would you sit there and do, like, weird passive aggressive... Like, firstly, I don't think this person exists, so I don't actually feel sorry for them in any way. But, like, why would you do it? Like if you know this person is a fan of yours, apparently, which... It brings up enough problems in itself. But if you know she, like, is, like, actually, like, a follower of yours, why would you possibly, like, post, like, negative... It's like people who, like, go onto, like... Facebook or something like that, and like passive aggressive posts like there's somebody sneaked around, you know, that kind of thing. But then they don't want to say who they're talking about or make, and it's just like, but you know who you're talking about. It's so childish and lame.
My heart that I had every right to be able to post that if I wanted to, but I didn't.
Well, you did, but it still makes you a dick. Well, I know I had the right to post it. She's just like, every time she tries to talk about something, she always puts herself in the worst light by accident. And she thinks, see, look at me, I'm standing up for myself. I'm saying I have the right to post it. It's like, yes, you do. Just like all those reaction channels have a right to talk shit about you or your mom or whatever it is, because they all have the right to do it. If you get madly upset about that over and over and over again, maybe you should just like, I don't not have, especially if you're the type of person who's like, I think we should all be kinder to each other online, and then you do that.
Respond to her message because it was just kind of harsh. And I just think right now,
accurate,
in both of our lives, we probably shouldn't communicate with each other. Why didn't you meet Valentine first before wanting her to move in? Because there was a lot of things that like...
Because she didn't exist.
Like, she was going through, and it would have been impossible for her to just like come visit me first.
Then why didn't you go visit her? Duh, you stupid. He's so fucking dumb.
We really wanted to be together. So we thought that that was the only option.
We really wanted to be together, but, you know, not enough to move in with you. Well, sorry, not enough to visit each other. But we really wanted to be together. It was impossible for her to take a day out of her schedule and visit me. But it was totally possible for her to organize moving her entire life to me within a month's notice. You know what? That all makes sense to me. Moving really is an overnight kind of thing. You don't really have to plan and plot for weeks.
To do so.
It's just so silly.
Personality-wise. So I like someone who's weird.
Submissive.
We can be weird together. Someone who's funny.
You're not weird. You're not quirky. I'm sorry to break it to you. You're boring.
Charming. I like a genuine person, a genuine soul.
Why would you like that when you're not that?
Someone who is sweet. Someone that I can like easily communicate with, get along with. We can have like our inside jokes. Like, we're not just like lovers, but we're also best friends. What else can you tell us?
Someone who'd appear on my YouTube channel and save my career. Please.
My favorite reaction channel besides that they're a woman. So I actually used to have like a little tiny mini crush on them. So
okay, so non-existent.
That's some tea. Amberlynn having a crush on a reaction channel.
Oh my god.
Besties block.
That's like so made up and like so boring. I've never been interested in the storyline because I just don't care, like, at all. Like, I think there are people who, like, do assume that Amber goes out and watches every single reaction channel, which is just, like, not at all possible, because, like, obviously not at all possible, because there are so many of them. Like, if she sat down and watched every video about her, she would literally be, like, 24/7 watching videos on her, and I realize, joke to say she's narcissist and all, I personally don't believe it. I think she watches the few big ones because she's obsessed with them, because they're big. That's it. That's why she wouldn't care about my channel. It's like, oh, there's a potato man over there. He gets 2,000 views. It's like, oh, who cares? But then she looks at like Zachary Michael, who beats her in views, and she's interested in that because she wants to try and start beef with him. She wants to go after someone like Narcolert, who's like a well-known member of the community, because if she goes after Narcolert, that might get her attention because people will then cover it. If she randomly goes like, oh, there's a potato guy and he sucks, Zachary Michael will make a video on that video. People won't be like talking about that and discussing that as a big crazy thing, because it's like there's no gain for her in watching small reaction channels, because what difference does it make?
Blocked or acquaintance? Alex, Zach, Jordy. So with this question, it took me like a million years to figure out what they meant, but I think
but then I realized that they're like guys, and I don't talk to guys.
It's like F, marry, kill. But this person was like, he's blocked acquaintance.
Like, I was going to say, are you stupid? But like, yeah. Like, obviously. I was really struggling to comprehend this. It's like, obviously, bro.
And I was like, oh, that's actually pretty smart. So
Is
Alex,
it?
Zach, or Jordy. Okay. So I'm not gonna lie, my opinion on
It's going to be I mean, based on her assumptions. She's going to say Bestie's Alex because she's like praised Alex's shook recently, because that's what she does. Like I said, I also think she probably wrote this. That's why she's doing the whole feign dumb thing at the start of it. I think she probably wrote this because, like I just mentioned, it's so many coincidences. I'm really happy with it so far. Is that she had like. She obviously wants to try and mention the big channels, and like the three big ones really are like Alex, Jordy, and Zach. So I'm assuming she's probably going to say Bestie's Alex. I don't remember the other two, but like Mari is going to like the besties one is going to be Alex, the middle one is going to be Zach, and the worst one is going to be Jordy because she dislikes Jordy.
And these three change all the time. So we're just gonna go with strictly how I feel right now.
Why do they change all the time? It implies that you watch all three of them, which you probably shouldn't.
Oh, in this moment, acquaintance,
obviously.
Zach, besties, Jordy, blocked Alex.
Okay, see how he smirks? See the way she said, like, basically the opposite of what I said? And she, like, smirks to herself. She's like, haha, everyone's going to make videos on this now. I might get some views. That thing. Because, like I said, very recently, doing the whole, like, Mama Lynn thing, she was super against Jordy. But she was super praising of Alex, you know? So, like, it is the exact polar opposite. So, like, I don't know, it makes sense. It actually is, like, the exact opposite of what I said, which is what she's going to do to try and cause drama, because everyone would probably think like me, but she wants to cause drama by doing the opposite.
Do you want to get married one day? I do. I've always wanted to get married. But obviously, I want it to be with someone that, like, I can truly see, like, a happy future with.
And exists, you know, unlike Valentine.
Are you talking to someone new?
Oh.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. See the way you're super performative about it? No, you aren't.
Does your mom enjoy being on videos more now? She actually does.
Yeah.
And she'll literally watch the videos
too
that
much.
she's in because she's just cute.
Why? I'm sorry. It's so weird. So, like, I love everyone in her life, her relationships, everything. They all like to apparently sit down with her and watch her vlogs together. Why?
Adorable. So she loves your guys' support and everything. So yeah. Are you still not smoking? Actually, I did start vaping again. I did. I told you guys.
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. Performative with every answer.
Is that me quitting vaping was not going to be a forever thing. I like really warned you.
Well, if you decided to like actually quit, then it would be a forever thing. Like just saying, well, I'm going to stop quitting because I can't quit forever, so I'm just going to stop now. It's like, well, that's why you failed in quitting, because you decided that you were going to fail, so you decided to purposely fail.
You guys of that. But I
don't think she ever stopped.
7 weeks, and I'm very proud of that accomplishment, but I was missing.
That's a really, really low like threshold for being proud of yourself for an accomplishment. Personally, I don't think she ever stopped. Like everyone was always pointing out during the comment of the day that she was high, and she even like was like trying to make fun of people for daring think that. And then it's like, actually, yeah, having smoking. It's like, yeah, we know. See the way we guessed? Yeah, we know.
Isn't it? And now I vape again. For those of you who don't know, I do not vape nicotine. It's not nicotine,
sure,
so don't worry about that. It is Delta 8.
I don't believe you.
Probably isn't the greatest thing either, but whatever. What was the date you and Valentine?
But whatever. But whatever. Bro, you're the 600-pounder. Like, you know, cool. If you want to say whatever about your health, that's why I don't care about your health either.
Broke up. It was one day after our 4-month anniversary.
Wow.
I broke up with her on June 15th. When was the last time you had sex? So the last time I had like physical sex
is like, I don't know, 17 years ago that time you cheated?
Somebody. It's a really weird way for me to word it, but it was September. I'm very much that girly pop where I can't have sex with someone unless...
Well, that doesn't make sense because you were living apart from Feline in September, wasn't she? Or no, it was actually start of October she moved. It was actually start of October she moved. So this is one of her pretend times where her and Feline were just being frisky and casual after they broke up, even though I don't believe they ever slept together when they actually were together, but apparently afterwards, no, they're banging all the time.
Unless I love them or I'm like extremely close to loving them because I need that like mental, emotional connection.
No, it's probably because you're humiliated showing any on your body. Like I said, personally, I don't think. Because even, like, remember with Beck, like, how many times during, like, the Amberlynn flashback, like, retro-reacting them to the Time Teeter thing, which, by the way, is coming back, just kind of every once in a while I kind of forget about it. But, like, even with Beck, she is constantly, yeah, girl, because we do that now. That's why we ain't going to heaven, because we do them dirty things in bed. Yeah, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And then Beck came out and said, actually, yeah, we never actually really did it. Which is humiliating, honestly. That's why I don't believe it when she's with the new girlfriend. Something like, oh yeah, we also still had the sex.
That is how I gain the sexual connection. And
Sure,
once
bro.
that's there, like, it is like on and popping. If you could travel anywhere and live there for a month, where would you go? I don't know why, but like Vegas or Hawaii,
Bora Bora?
I feel like
Why did we suddenly drop Bora Bora? That was like her favorite thing for ages.
it would be super fun to like live there for a full month. Like I would have the time of my life.
Why?
Why don't you ever?
Can you not say why? Like if I said, oh, I want to go to Las Vegas for a month, it's like, oh, there's so many shows. I would love to go to casinos. I would love to try like blackjack at a cool big professional table. You know, like explain why you want to do something. It's like, where would you go? I don't know, Michigan. Yeah, that's it. The end. Can you not explain to me why you want to do something? Do you not have like emotions?
Acknowledge your own hypocrisy. That word is so hard for me to say. I don't know why. But I do feel like
Because you don't like acknowledging your own hypocrisy?
I own it and acknowledge it. I always say that all of us as humans, we are literally walking hypocrites, and that is including myself. When someone glued
that doesn't mean you're acknowledging hypocrisy. Just going like a vague, oh yeah, sometimes it's, you know, I'm not a good person. Like imagine if like, someone was just like, they go to court and it's like, are you guilty of this crime? You know, sometimes I'm not a good person. It's like, no, but we're asking you about this thing. And I answered. I said, I don't know, sometimes I'm not a good person, I guess. But don't we all, you know, break the law sometimes? Imagine if someone was doing their guilty plea like that. That's like Amber. Anytime you catch you in a lie or something, the guy's like, oh, okay, here's a lie. I really don't know what you're talking about. But remember that time like 6 months ago where I said I'm a hypocrite sometimes? Do you remember that? I don't even know what you're upset about.
Tide was working. Did you ever miss the joy food gave you? Honestly, no. And that was something that I was always afraid of.
No.
Like,
you complained about that numerous times during this. Come on.
I was like, shit, am I just going to have like a mental breakdown because I can't enjoy food?
A mental breakdown?
I never once felt that way. Like I'm
having a mental breakdown because I couldn't have a pizza, guys.
So excited.
Go to therapy.
Not to like turn to food. And that's why I was finding
Except
different
you wanted
mechanisms, and it was working out really well.
What were the other coping mechanisms? The only thing she showed us was the coloring book, and that was towards the end of it. What were the other like things you were doing to try and get over it? Also, you did repeatedly say that you're thinking about food and obsessed with food and trying so hard. That's why you said you wanted the praise, because like when people trying to say it's all based on semaglutide, well, it's not actually, because I've had to like stop myself so many times. It's like, but now you're saying that you weren't. You were never like trying to go for food for joy.
Well, when it was working, like I felt amazing, physically, mentally, all of it. Are you still drinking? Because you seem drunk all the time. This made me LOL because I don't know. Oh my God, LOL?
I actually LMAO'd at that. That's so crazy.
Makes it seem like I'm drunk, because I promise you that is not the case at all. I haven't drank in so long. Like it's been months, and the last time was literally with friends. But I do plan on drinking sometime soon, because I do have someone coming to visit me. And you know, we might have a ball or
oh my gosh, you might have a ball. Oh my god. I still think you're a virgin. I personally do not care. It is so lame that you have to have mysterious magical friends who like totes for real exist, guys. And, oh, I might even have the sex. We might even touch the JJs. Oh, tee. Oh, it's so scandalous, guys. Oh, I'm just saying. It's like, bro, if you have to be this performative, it's just really uninteresting. It doesn't actually do anything for me. Like, imagine she's coming out to you and being, oh my, I actually LOL at people thinking that I drink because you're like, so stupid. Like, how dare you think that about me? I was like, wasn't it like a week ago you were saying literally exactly the same thing about vaping CBD or THC or whatever it is she's taking? Weren't you like reacting exactly the same way? But then it's like, but actually, yeah, I am still vaping. I have been vaping for a while. It's like, oh, so we were right.
Or 2 or 3 or 4. So I'm actually really excited. I'm not gonna lie.
French.
Not excited about the buzzballs, but excited about the person coming to visit me. But I mean, also low-key kind of excited for a buzzball. Because why not? Did you ever want kids before getting your hysterectomy? Yes, I always wanted kids.
Why?
There was like a phase where I was in like this weird.
Where I was like, I want to abuse someone, and I want to have like a narcissistic baby that I can like dress up like a doll, and then like abuse if they don't act right. It's like, you'd be the worst mom, kid.
Denial moment where I was like, no, I don't want kids. And I think it's because like I knew I would never be able to give birth. I've always like truly
surely you should also just be able to acknowledge that you'd be a terrible mom when you can barely even look after a dog, when you can't even be bothered to brush your cat. But you're like, oh, but I actually want kids, guys.
Wanted a daughter, especially like obviously in fairy tale.
Wow. Hard, I guess. She wanted someone she could dress up like a doll. I'm crazy, guys.
Land, if I got pregnant and had a son, like I would totally love him, like regardless. But like I just had this dream that I had a little mini me walking around, and yes.
Oh my god, so fucking narcissistic, I told you.
That can seem narcissistic. I really don't care.
It
I think it's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, well, narcissists generally don't care about being narcissistic. That's why they are narcissists.
For parents to be like, yeah, I would love a son, or yeah, I would love a daughter. And for me, it was, I would love.
Yeah, but that's different than saying, I want a small version of myself to control. It's kind of different saying, I would love to have a child one day. That's very different.
Love a daughter. Like, I just wanted that so bad. Like, I had her name picked out and everything. Really? And I'm not going to get to experience that. And that's something that's been very hard for me to process and mourn.
Wow.
Because
and mourn? Even like saying this, when it is something that is probably the most real thing she's talked about this time, because everything else has literally just been Narnia, this, there's less emotion. There's no emotion. It's like her trying to be performative, but she's showing no emotion in the eyes. Like genuine psychopath shit.
Was really important to me. Did Valentine troll you? No. This is one of the ones that was a very popular question. A lot of people thinking that Valentine trolled me. She was actually a hater. She was this or that.
Yeah.
No, that is not true. 1000% genuine in what we had, but again, that was just like a part of the life.
Well, not really, because if apparently she treated you badly and cheated on you constantly, then it wasn't genuine in what you had. That doesn't even actually make sense based on your claim.
She was living, whereas she was also living this whole separate life. It's a lot and it's confusing.
So like a troll would, like a catfish would, that doesn't actually dismiss the argument.
And I understand that, but even though you guys don't know who...
It's not confusing. You're the one who's confused by it. It was so genuine what we had, apart from we didn't actually have it, and she lied to me and manipulated me constantly. It's like, so it wasn't genuine then. Cool.
Valentine is. I just feel like me as a person, morally, I can't envision myself like sharing this person's like story to you guys. I just,
do you know about
like
morals?
As much as she hurt me and we didn't work out this and that, like I still do.
Why would you share the story? That's a thing I wouldn't understand. It starts thinking, well, morally I shouldn't. It's like, no, just factually, why should you? It's just uninteresting. It's someone we've never met before. It's like me telling you a story about my car mechanic. If I just suddenly said, I'm going, hey guys, you heard of Big Joe? Aye, Big Joe. Not doing too well. Yeah, if you know what I mean. Sipping the snot rockets there. You see him all the time doing that. It's like eating a powdered sugar every morning. He's covered in the stuff. It's like, oh, okay. I don't care about Big Joe, the car mechanic. Sorry.
You care about her. Do you think you will ever tell us what happened with you and Feline? No. Like, that is like a closed door that is done. The key has been thrown in the...
What was apparently meant to have happened between her and Feline now? Like, Feline dumped her. It's hardly like an interesting story. She already made the whole point about we grew distant and all because she tried to like walk it back and make it seem like she was the one who actually ended it.
Freaking ocean with that necklace from Titanic. Are you still friends with Eric and Ricky? I am. The same person also asked, do you still talk to Alexis? Yes, she is like one of my greatest friends. What did you last journal about? So the last thing I journaled about is
myself
the
again
girl that I'm talking to. What do you think about what is going on?
That doesn't make sense because what period are we writing about with her journal? It's like, sorry. See, I was going based on like actually writing it down in the journal, which is, you know, the fourth draft of the journal. If you guys don't realize, she writes it down first on her phone, then she transfers it to a computer, then she makes sure it all fits right, and then she transfers it to the journal because she thinks it's like a memoir or something like that. That's what I was thinking of. I wasn't thinking like the current one where she's typing it up on her phone.
And on with Jojo Siwa. I mean, what is really going on? Like, what does that even mean? Like, she just turned 21. She's young, you know, her full brain hasn't even formed yet. Like, I'm pretty sure when we were all 21, like, we all made some dumb decisions and acted a fool. She happens to just be doing it online, and she's not...
I don't know who that is. Also, probably then she shouldn't be doing it online then. I don't know who it is, though.
Doing anything to, like, really hurt herself or others. She's just young and being silly and being weird and trying to get attention. And I see nothing wrong with it, personally. If you lied to protect...
Well, of course you wouldn't see anything wrong with it, because you literally, your existence is please pay attention to me. Your entire life is desperately hoping people will look in your direction, even for 15 seconds, to reach the first 2 mid-roll ads in your video. Of course you wouldn't see anything wrong with it, but, like, yeah, being, like, a weirdo loser on the internet who apparently is getting negative enough that you decide to bring them up in your video for, I don't know, clicks or whatever it is. Like, that's I would say that's pretty destructive for the rest of your life if you're seen as like a total loser at 21. It's like Logan Paul, by a lot of people, is like totally written off as a human. Yeah, he might be super rich, but he's totally written off as a human because he's just like total loser when he was like 21.
Text someone you care about. Why would anyone be upset about that? Because I would do the same. Good question. I think people...
So literally non-existent question you wrote about yourself. Anytime she pulls a face after saying, goes, yeah, good question. It's like, oh, you're just praising yourself. It's like you praising your poems.
Get upset about things that they don't understand. They judge things that they don't understand. If anyone was in the situation or few situations that I've been in where I've had to like cover up for someone because I care about them or tell
the few situations, I love she can't even make it like one pretend thing. It has to be several pretend things because you have to try and cast shade towards numerous ex-girlfriends now, not just the one ex-girlfriend.
Little lie because I care about them. Like, I feel like anyone would do that, or at least I hope they would, just out of respect for the person that they care about.
I hope people would lie and make up stuff about ex-girlfriends, you know, to totes for real protect that ex-girlfriend, like you made up about Casey.
When did you get lipedema and lymphedema? So the symptoms of my lipedema I've actually had my whole life. Like, I literally have a picture of me wearing like these really short pants when I was like 11, and you could tell like my legs are just like bigger than the average. So I've always...
Because you're fat. You don't try and do this thing. I was like, oh, well, guys, it was genetic lymphedema. I've had it since I was 5. No, you had it because you're super morbidly obese. There's a strange correlation between people having bad lymphedema and being super morbidly obese.
Had that, but my lymphedema started in like, I would say like 2018, 2019. How do you handle...
That doesn't make... Didn't she just say it the wrong way around? Because she, like, her lipedema is meant to be the more recent one. And I don't know how she would know that because she claims she only got diagnosed for lipedema in 2023. So I don't know how she suddenly knows she's had it since 2018.
Handle being alone. Honestly, I don't know. Like, it was such a scary thing to like adjust to. But then once I adjusted, I low-key fell in love. Like, I love living on my own. And I've gotten to experience...
Then why do you need a caretaker still?
Experience it. It's like a whole different level of like independency. Yes, I don't drive. I know a lot of people like to throw that in there, but there is something about being home alone, day in and day out, doing things for you and not having anyone else like here to help or whatever. Like, it has made me realize that.
But you don't do anything. So the whole like needing someone to help thing, it's like, bro, you've literally had to upgrade from wheeling around your dirty clothes on a suitcase to wheeling around your clothes and your groceries that your mom brings you in her car in a wagon. That is the level of like, I don't know, either just like patheticness or like trolling for attention. And I think both of them are pathetic. So like the general argument some people might bring up is like Amberlynn is a clear troll. So like the wagon thing, for example, it's like, well, that wagon is so over the top. It's clearly to troll you guys and you're falling for it. It's like, no, but my argument is if that is the level of trolling she has to do just for attention, it's like if you see someone on, I don't know, 4chan, for example, who like types like the N-word 700 times in a row and then says he knows where your mother lives and he's going to go around and like murder her or something like that. Like, that's like an obvious troll, but it's like so desperate for like attention and seem cool online. Like that, it's like that, like, oh, that's cringe, bro. It's exactly the same how I feel about her. If she does try and troll for attention, and it's like, oh, really? Are you at this point in your life where like this is how desperate you are for like anyone to even look your direction is to troll like that and to make yourself look that bad?
That like, yes, I was like forced into this for the lack of a better term, but like if I was never forced into it, I would have never like gotten to experience it and realize that like I love living alone. But I'm also in this like part of my life where if I do end up living with someone else, like I'm also okay with that because I got to experience this.
Yeah, obviously
and I am 33. I'm gonna be 34 in December. I'm getting older, and my life is literally changing constantly. So
when is her life changing constantly? There's been no change. And I'm gonna say since she moved, as a bare minimum, but even before she moved, like the last like year of her relationship with Feline was basically this. It was basically just her sitting in the house, mumbling away to the camera and hoping people pay attention to her.
To experience this, I loved it and I can do it. I can live by myself, like physically, mentally, all of it. When I really thought that I wasn't going to be able to, I proved myself wrong.
How many times did she had like breakdowns? How many times did she say she had to like drink every single night because of it? Now she can't even give up like constantly smoking THC because she's struggling so much. She had turned to food. She had apparently gained loads of weight. Back and forth, but no, she's actually coping really well, guys.
I know that I can do it again. So if I do end up ever living with someone else, like, I'm also okay with that and totally...
Did I rewind by accident?
Have you gained weight recently? I have, yes. Yeah. Last question.
So, like, literally the second you stop, the semaglutide magically stops working because, you know, just pure magic. Like, I've never taken it before, so I don't know. But it does seem weird to me, the idea of, like, it just suddenly stops working if it did work for you, and then doubling the dose doesn't make any difference. It does seem weird, in my opinion. Like, either she is just out eating it, or she never got a second round. Because we saw the first round. We saw her with the first round. She showed us the bag containing the needles. But mysteriously, we never saw the second round. So I don't know if the second round ever really existed, but maybe I'm just misremembering, you know? But yeah, I love it. It's like, yes, I have gained weight. Next question. It's like, okay, you're just leaving that as a wee breadcrumb. You might as well have just said how much you've gained. But even at that, it just proves that you were not ready for semaglutide. You're not ready for weight loss surgery. You're not ready to, like, I don't know, not eat yourself to death, because surely you should just be able to go like off semaglutide, have semaglutide stop working, and either maintain or continue losing, because apparently she was also claiming she was on an incredible diet where she stopped all her takeout. She was able to tell herself no repeatedly, but then it's like the second she stops, it's like, oh, well, I may immediately gain weight, guys. Sorry.
I wish it was a grand finale, but this was the last question that I received, because like I said, I did them all in order.
It's gonna be lame,
Are you left-handed? I am left-handed, yes. So is my mom, actually. I just want to let everyone know, like, I am caught up on my videos completely, so I have nothing.
See the way she ended it like that, and like threw in like this totally lame question that no one would ask and no one would care about? Yeah, that is literally to try and make this seem like a more genuine list. I was talking about to someone recently about people faking videos, and I said, okay, if they're going to fake a video, they might do something where, like, if they're like pretending to be like streaming or something, because it's to do with VTuber drama. I'm not going to go into it, but like you might put in a goof where you just like stumble in your words or something like, whoops, guys, and then everyone laughs. Like, oh, it's so silly. But that happens on a live stream, even though you're pretty sure it's a pre-recorded video, because you're just like, you stuck that in to try and make it seem real, like live, like genuine. It's a manipulation tactic, because people are like, oh, if this is a produced video, you surely would have cut that out. But the reason they're keeping it in is to make you think that it's a live stream. That's why she included that, to make it seem like a genuine list of questions, because suddenly they say, oh, I wish it could have ended more special, guys. But suddenly we have the one totally useless, dumb question that no one would ask. So, yeah.
Nothing else like pre-filmed. So once this video is uploaded, I'm not really sure like when you guys will be getting another video from me.
I don't know if I believe you.
I'm going to try not to take too long of a break. I was just uploading every other day vlogs.
Why are we suddenly on a break? Where did this come from?
Vlogs every other day. And then life just kind of caught up to me. Not going to lie. I truly feel like I lived a whole lifetime in June. Like the month of June.
What life?
Like, so crazy intense for me. And
but you didn't do anything. She barely even left her house. What was the craziness?
And I have ended some eras and I'm beginning some new ones. Anyways, wow. I'm just rambling.
Embarrassing. I don't know why you're trying this hard to try and act like you have a girlfriend, why you have people near you, why you have people who love you. It's kind of pathetic, honestly. Probably one of the more interesting Q&As, because she did answer some questions, but obviously a lot of them were like fake, or her giving like fake information, or her trying to like really troll. Like going back to like even the like my favorite reactor. Oh, I had a crush on them, guys. It's like, it's just fake. You know, I don't even know like what else I meant to say about it. It is just her like however, it's once a week she has dropped a little tiny little extra crumb of information, and yeah, sure, eventually she might say who it is, and she might just pick a random female reactor in the community. And there's like dozens to choose from, you know, so it's not overly hard for her just to randomly go, actually, it's this person over here, just for a little bit of attention. But personally, do I think she's going to do that? Probably not, because I don't think she likes to give a shout out. If she does, she'll probably pick like a bigger one. Like, who's that woman? There's a woman who, like Megan, I think her name is, who gets like 30, 40 like, really good numbers. And every once in a while, she reacts to Amberlynn, and she gets, you know, she has, I think, more subscribers than Amberlynn. She gets more views than Amberlynn. So I think Amber would feel safe shouting her out, because she's already a big channel, and Amber hopes for like some return from that. If that woman then makes a video on Amber's hoping to get a couple more views off that. But she's not going to pick like some random, say, my favorite is Dingle Donga 679431 Shadowheart, who has like 3 subscribers. But that's going to be it, guys. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.